Hello, NBA fans. Daily news about the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm a fan of the Lakers. Hello, NBA fans. Daily news about the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm a fan of the Lakers show and I hope you'll subscribe to the channel and give it a like. The Lakers have expressed interest in Walker Kessler several times, and now he's having issues with Utah and should be available. This is the time for the Lakers to make a big trade and bring in Walker Kessler. The same team that declined an offer of 2 first-round picks for Walker Kessler now refuses to extend him. Just when it seemed as though the Los Angeles Lakers could move on from dreaming of trading for Walker Kessler, failed extension negotiations have rekindled the flame. Kessler and the Utah Jazz have reportedly been unable to agree to a new contract and will thus resume conversations in 2026. In the most unlikely of outcomes, the very franchise that once declined an offer that included 2 first-round draft picks for Kessler is now refusing to extend him, and the Lakers could be the winners of that development. Kessler, 24, has quickly emerged as one of the most coveted rim protectors in the NBA. He's among the most productive interior-based bigs in the association, combining youth and upside with immediate value in a way that inevitably intrigued Utah and rival teams alike. According to Tony Jones of The Athletic, however, Kessler and the Jazz were unable to agree to terms on a contract extension and will now enter 2025-26 in a state of uncertainty. The Utah Jazz and Walker Kessler will not reach an agreement on a rookie-scale contract extension, league sources tell The Athletic, which clears the way for the starting center to reach restricted free agency next summer. Suddenly, the very team that refused to trade Kessler for 2 first-round draft picks is unwilling to meet his contract demands, and the Lakers are thus back in the picture. Jazz fail to extend Walker Kessler, opening door for Lakers trade. There's a measure of team-building logic behind Utah not signing Kessler to an extension. His $14.9 million cap hold for the 2026 offseason would leave enough space for the Jazz to make meaningful moves in free agency before re-signing him. In the event that Utah were to sign Kessler to an extension now, his cap hold would undoubtedly increase with his new salary, thus restricting the franchise's mobility in free agency. Kessler's status as a restricted free agent permits the existence of said approach, as the Jazz will be able to match any offer sheet he receives. The reality remains, however, that Utah has gone from being unwilling to trade Kessler for anything less than a star-caliber haul to failing to extend him. Financial flexibility may seem ideal to the front office, but Kessler may not be as fond of this outcome as Austin Ainge might be, thus creating the room for dissension and resurgent trade rumors. Los Angeles will likely be at the heart of those rumors as a team that's long been linked to Kessler. The Lakers are in the market for a rim protector who can crash the offensive glass and provide value above the rim, and the 24-year-old checks each of those boxes. DeAndre Ayton may ultimately prove that Los Angeles doesn't need to trade for a center, but until that outcome comes about, the trade market will be a factor, and Kessler will likely be a target. Kessler is coming off of a season in which he averaged 11.1 points, 12.2 rebounds, 4.6 offensive boards, 1.7 assists, and 2.4 blocks in 30.0 minutes per game. It was further confirmation of his status as one of the best shot blockers and offensive rebounders in the NBA. It's unclear if Utah will be reasonable in its trade demands for Kessler, but the door appears at least slightly ajar for the Lakers to bring that value back to Los Angeles given the failed extension. Austin Reaves' role is crystal clear no matter what Lakers fans say. The Los Angeles Lakers guard will be a starter and pivotal to the team's success in the upcoming season. Austin Reaves leading the second unit as a 6th Man of the Year candidate is a nice dream. At the end of the day, though, that is all it is. No more. No less. It is not happening. The message that is sent by shifting one of the pivotal stars of your team to the bench during a contract year is the wrong one. It would be the type of decision that would genuinely invite Reaves to consider alternatives to staying with the Los Angeles Lakers when 2026 free agency hits. They cannot afford to be that bold with their talented offensive guard. Unlike this offseason, teams will have money to spend in 2026. Reaves has already turned down the Lakers' extension offer, knowing there is a path to a much bigger payday by testing the free agent market. Why stick around for a sixth-man role in Los Angeles when other teams would have opportunities for both the money and Reeves to be treated like a star? That is not a question the Lakers should allow their soon-to-be free agent to ask himself at any point between now and the summer of 2026. Lakers already know Austin Reeves' true place on the roster. The subject of Reeves remaining a starter was touched on during Jovan Buha's recent podcast episode discussing the main group that should begin every night on the floor. There was little debate for the Lakers reporter as to where the 27-year-old belonged. Buha said, "Austin is a no-brainer starter. He's clearly the Lakers' third-best player. The gap between Austin at 3 and whoever you want to put at 4 is bigger than whoever you put at 4 and whoever you want to say is 5. The Lakers insider mentioned the discussion could be different if the team had a clear two-way stud. Buha offered Herb Jones, Danny Green, or even Kentavious Caldwell-Pope as examples here. If that was the case, and that was who Reeves was battling, there could be more debate. That is just clearly not the dilemma Los Angeles must navigate. Reeves has been previously rumored to be prioritizing a return to the Lakers. Now is not the time to give him second thoughts. The continued approach of treating him as a franchise cornerstone is the best option for Rob Pelinka, J.J. Redick, and company. The Lakers guard will be asked to take on a vital offensive role next to Luka Doncic in hopes of preserving LeBron James throughout the regular season. Reeves is also a much better defender than those arguing against him and Doncic coexisting are willing to admit. This is just not a guy meant for the bench at this point of his career. Missing out on extending Hachimura would be bad news for Luka Doncic. I believe the thinking behind LA's current hesitancy to resist the urge to go ahead and extend Hachimura revolves around the idea of wanting to avoid overcommitting to role players. It's an understandable position, especially when you do want to retain some element of flexibility for big moves in 2026 and beyond. Because of how the team's payroll is currently set up, any new extensions are going to have ripple effects. With that being said, you have to have the self-awareness to know when to take leaps of faith and when not to. If the Lakers made the mistake of letting Rui go without securing a replacement, it could send a message to Doncic that the organization isn't as prepared to win a championship as previously believed. We know that Luka chose to re-sign in Los Angeles for a reason. And at the same time, he's realistic enough in his own mind that he could certainly question whether this team is serious about contending should something like this go down. If the Lakers opt not to extend Hachimura, it may end up being a situation where they trade him mid-season rather than risk losing him for no return come free agency. LA's fanbase is going to be split on this issue as per usual, but it's hard to ignore how well Rui fits alongside Luka. I think it makes a lot more sense to just open up the checkbook and remove the possibility of any FOMO or potential frustrations with your franchise player. Hachimura isn't a perfect player, but he's earned his payday. Zach Lowe suggests LA Lakers star for Houston Rockets trade if season goes very badly. Blockbuster trade conversations are resurfacing around the Houston Rockets following Fred VanVleet's injury. Without Fred VanVleet for the entire season, the Rockets lack a starting caliber point guard capable of both ball handling and playmaking responsibilities. Amen Thompson represents an immediate solution, while Reed Shepherd or J.D. Davidson offer developmental options. However, none provide the ideal replacement for VanVleet's production and leadership. Zach Lowe identifies Austin Reeves as potential target for the Rockets amid Lakers extension uncertainty. NBA analyst Zach Lowe proposed an intriguing trade possibility involving the Los Angeles Lakers' Austin Reeves. The guard's contract situation creates potential leverage for teams seeking backcourt upgrades. Reeves will have a player option next summer, but extension talks haven't materialized despite trade rumors throughout the offseason. Lowe believes deteriorating circumstances could force a re-evaluation of his Lakers' future. What if things go very badly this season for Austin Reeves with the LA Lakers? What if it's like "you asked me to come off the bench" extension talks, they couldn't really get started because you couldn't offer me enough, Lowe explained. Do you really value me enough in a Luka world? LeBron is still here. Is he retiring? Is that good for my future in LA? He continued. Strong Lakers relationship complicates potential Rockets pursuit. Despite the speculative scenario, Lowe acknowledges significant obstacles to any potential trade. The acquisition cost would likely include valuable draft picks, while Reeves maintains strong organizational ties. Even with LeBron James and Luka Doncic on the roster, Reeves serves as the Lakers' third star. Last season, he ranked as their third most productive player with 20.2 points, 5.8 assists, and 4.5 rebounds per game. "I don't think this is going to happen, but it's a name that popped into my head," Lowe admitted. The Lakers love Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves loves being a Laker. They love it there. However, the analyst noted that seemingly stable situations can unexpectedly unravel in major markets, particularly when contract negotiations stall or role expectations change. "I'm just saying, we've seen more hunky-dory situations go awry before in big markets," Lowe concluded. The Rockets face pressure to address their point guard crisis through trades rather than free agency due to salary cap constraints. While the Reeves scenario remains unlikely, recent high-profile trades like Luka Doncic demonstrate that no player situation is entirely secure in today's NBA landscape. Longtime Lakers trade target not signing extension will enter free agency. The Los Angeles Lakers came into this offseason knowing that they needed to improve the center position. After trading Anthony Davis, they needed to get someone who could really make an impact. After DeAndre Ayton was bought out by the Trail Blazers, the Lakers decided to bring him in and sign him to a 2-year deal. There's a chance that could blow up in their face, though. If the Ayton signing does not work out, the Lakers could go after someone in free agency whom they have been chasing for quite a while. The Lakers could go after Walker Kessler next summer. According to Tony Jones of The Athletic, the Jazz won't be signing Kessler to an extension this season. That clears the way for him to become a free agent next summer. The Utah Jazz and Walker Kessler will not reach an agreement on a rookie-scale contract extension, league sources tell The Athletic, which clears the way for the starting center to reach restricted free agency next summer. Jones notes that the Lakers could be one of the teams that pursue Kessler next summer, especially if Ayton continues to play with apathy. Currently, there are a limited number of teams that project to have cap space. One team is the Los Angeles Lakers, which has been a past admirer of Kessler's. In that sense, there could be pressure on the Jazz to have a prospective offer ready for Kessler at or near the start of free agency. The Lakers' pursuit of Walker Kessler is predicated on DeAndre Ayton's play this year. If Ayton is able to play well this year, then the Lakers won't be looking to add another starting caliber center. This is his last chance to show that he can play motivated every night, so this is a big season for him. If Ayton continues not to try hard on the court or he misses a bunch of games due to injury, there's a great chance that the Lakers will prepare an offer for Kessler in the offseason. LeBron James' next move raises big questions for Lakers. Highlights from Chelsea Gray 10-assist game. LeBron James and longtime business partner Maverick Carter are preparing their next move off the court. The Los Angeles Lakers star and Carter are reportedly putting plans in place to launch an international basketball league by 2026, one designed to offer a genuine alternative to the NBA. The vision is ambitious. A European-style format. 6 men's and 6 women's teams. A touring circuit through global cities that looks more like Formula One than the traditional US league model. Global alternative to the NBA. According to ESPN's Brian Windhorst, James and Carter are working with a group of investors to make the league a reality. Among the names reportedly involved are Redbird Capital Partners and Fenway Sports Group, which already own major clubs like Liverpool FC and the Boston Red Sox. The group of investors wants to create a league that would somehow compete with the NBA. They don't want it to be a US league, they want it to have a European flavor, Windhorst said on the Hoops Collective podcast. The structure would reportedly feature both men's and women's teams traveling together to 8 international stops. A July meeting in St. Tropez, involving James, Carter, and Nikola Jokic's agent Misko Raznatovic, was one of several conversations pushing the idea forward. The target launch date is fall 2026. Why now? The timing isn't accidental. Talk of NBA expansion has picked up, with Las Vegas and Seattle floated as potential destinations. James has made his interest in Las Vegas well known, fueling speculation about his next chapter beyond his playing career. What sets this project apart is the backing. Unlike previous challengers that fizzled, James and Carter are partnering with investment groups with the resources and track record to run global sports properties. For investors, the appeal is obvious: create a product with international reach that offers a different style of play than the NBA. For James, it's the start of a new chapter. Championships and records define his career. Now ownership, vision, and legacy appear to be his priorities. Rich Paul raises eyebrows about LeBron's Lakers' future. While James maps out his post-playing ventures, questions remain about how much longer he'll be on the court. His agent Rich Paul made headlines this week with a cryptic message to fans. Appearing on NBA Today, ESPN's Shams Charania relayed Paul's comments. "It's important not to worry about the future when it comes to LeBron James. Just appreciate the present." At 40 years old and entering another grueling season with the Los Angeles Lakers, James' future is unclear. Retirement and a potential opt-out are both on the table. Last season, he still averaged 24.4 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 8.2 assists while shooting 51.3% from the field and 37.6% from three. Lakers must prepare for life after LeBron. The Lakers' blockbuster trade for Luka Doncic was as much about tomorrow as it was today. Los Angeles is chasing another title with James, but also knows a future without him is approaching fast. James has reshaped the Lakers since 2018, delivering a title in 2020 and putting them back on the map. But his business moves, from media ventures to the new league, make it clear that his legacy will stretch beyond his playing days. Whether this is his final season or not, the next phase of his career has already begun.